Good afternoon, I'm Shira Awangmanso. You are now watching English News at 5. Child care centres and kindergartens all around Kuching will be temporarily closed for 2 weeks starting October 30th to November 13th. Such measure was initiated due to Kuching being declared as red zone. According to Minister of Welfare, Community Wellbeing, Women, Family and Childhood Development, Datuk Sri Fatimah Abdullah, the decision was made after discussing the issue with Sarawak State Disaster Management Committee SDMC Chairman Dato' Amar Douglas Uga Ambas. As many as 767 early education institutions registered in Kuching district are involved, of which 91 are childcare centres and 676 are kindergartens. In connection to this, 209 education institutions in Kuching district will also be closed starting October 31st till November 13th. The National Unity Ministry has ordered all Tabika Perpaduan preschools and Taska Genius Perpaduan daycare centres in Kuching to close for 2 weeks effective today, October 30th, until November 13th. In a statement, the ministry said the announcement followed Kuching's classification as a red zone by the Health Ministry this week. The closure order will affect 43 Tabika Perpaduan and 1 Taska Genius Perpaduan involving 830 children and 92 teachers. National Unity Minister Datuk Halimah Muhammad Sadiq also reminded Unity Machinery at all red zones to adhere to health protocols and standard operating procedures put in place by the Health Ministry and National Security Council, as well as directives by respective state governments. The ministry said the directive was in line with the Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin's announcement on October 6th for all educational institutions to close when a district is declared as a red zone. A 2-year-old was found positive among the recent COVID-19 infections recorded in the state. Sarawak State Disaster Management Committee SDMC Chairman Dato' Amar Douglas Uga Ambas said the case involving the youngest child ever diagnosed with COVID-19 was a close contact to case 818 from the Green Hill cluster. He said this during an SDMC press conference in Sarawak on Thursday.
Pada 27 Oktober 2020, kesemua kes telah menjalani saringan RT-PCR kali kedua dan keputusan ujian pada 20 Oktober 2020 mendapati kes-kes ini adalah positif COVID-19.
He said this during an SDMC press conference in Sarawak on Thursday. Second engineer Aaron Michael Rajasgran, 34, who died of drowning in the ill-fated MV DAYANG TOPAZ incident on Tuesday, will be cremated at 10 a.m. on Saturday, while rigger Thomas Liang, 39, who also perished in the incident, had been brought back to his longhouse home in Ulubawan, Kanawit, and would be buried at Nirvana Memorial Park in Cebu on Saturday. Aaron's widow, Nateshwari Dusan, said her husband's remains are expected to be flown back to Kuala Lumpur tomorrow and will be brought to his parents' home in Kampung LBJ, Seremban, Negeri Sembilan for a funeral wake. She said his husband's body will be cremated and his ash will be gathered and buried at his grandmother's grave. According to Miri OC PD ACP Lim Meng Sia, Aaron left behind 2 daughters aged 5 and 8. Meanwhile, Thomas, who was fondly known as BJ Liang, had been brought back to his longhouse home in Ulubawan, Kanawit, where his father Liang Gura is the headman. Relatives from Bawan, Bejait, Tuah, Pedai, Ulu Balingyan and Cebu have been invited to attend the funeral wake at the Longhouse starting tomorrow. The late Aaron and Thomas were among 125 crewmen who jumped overboard when maintenance vessel MV DAYANG TOPAZ went out of control after one of its anchor cable broke off before colliding with the Baram B oil platform during adverse weather on Tuesday. Welcome back. Malaysia Airlines flight MH8496 carrying the third batch of the Malaysian Battalion 8508, Malbat 8508, has departed Subang Air Base today for a peacekeeping mission under the United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon, UNIFIL. The group comprises 215 officers and peacekeepers led by Joint Force Commander Lieutenant General RMAF Datuk Yazid bin Arshad. Malaysia Airlines Berhad's Group Chief Operations Officer Ahmad Luqman Muhammad Azmi in a statement said the national carrier was honoured to fly officers and personnel from the Malaysian Armed Forces and Ministry of Defence to provide humanitarian assistance in Lebanon for the second year in a row. Airbus 330-200 aircraft has been deployed for today's mission, operated by 3 pilots and 10 cabin crew for each flight. The next batch of Malbat 858 is scheduled to travel to Lebanon on November 15, 2020. The video clip just now depicted an accident taking place at Kemuning Shah Alam Expressway LKSA. The video, which has gone viral on social media, involves a 73-year-old local man who drove against the flow of traffic, causing 2 accidents on Thursday. The driver failed to stop his vehicle despite being told to do so by onlookers who recorded the video. Shah Alam District Police Chief ACP Baharuddin Mattaib said in a statement that the senior citizen was found driving against the flow of traffic on the Kemuning Shah Alam Expressway LKSA heading towards Shah Alam city centre, causing accidents at kilometres 3.1 and kilometres 6.6. He said in the first accident occurred at kilometre 3.1, resulting to a 33-year-old sustaining injuries when the sedan car he was driving overturned in an attempt to avoid colliding with the suspect. While in an accident at kilometre 6.6, a Perodua Myvi collided with the car after failing to swerve on time. Baharuddin pointed out initial investigation found that the suspect lost his way while heading to a supermarket in section 13 Shah Alam and then accidentally drove into LKSA when he realized he did not have a touch-and-go card. The suspect then decided to turn back and drive against the traffic to return to his house in section 8. According to Baharuddin, the suspect was detained for further action and the case was investigated under Section 42 subsection 1 of the Road Transport Act 1987 for reckless driving. And that concludes the English news at 5. I'm Shira Abang Mansur. Thank you for watching.